My name is Jennifer Dugan, and I work as a technology teacher and tech support for Columbia Middle School and Aurora Public Schools. Mark Schuldeis did a training last February, or February of this year, so it was last February, with me and several other teachers, technology teachers here in APS. We did a 3-hour training. Because of some fluke of scheduling, because I have a semester class, my second semester, I got all the same kids back. Okay, so I was not going to redo, I was not going to do another semester of planning. It just wasn't going to happen. So Mark had been talking about scalable game design for months. We had an out-of-building professional development. And so we'd go and we'd talk about stuff, and he was so excited, and he talked about it, and we all said, okay, so when are you going to show us how to do it? So, like I said, he did the training in February, and my kids were ecstatic before I even came into the room with me. Because I told them, I was like, we're going to a training. We're going to do this. We're going to learn how to do Frogger. At the very least, we are going to build a Frogger game. And my kids would ask me weekly, Miss, when's the meeting? When's the meeting? So the day before, I was like, hey, you guys are going to have a sub tomorrow. And they're like, it's your meeting, huh? I was like, yes. So be ready to go. So I learned Frogger one day, and we started the next. Literally, I walked into the classroom, and I said, all right, do you know what absorb is? Do you know what collision is? And that's how we started. The wiki site has some of the best lesson plans for Frogger that I have ever seen. I ended up taking one of the lesson plans, and I made copies. Because I got all the kids back, like half of them said, oh, we don't want to do anything in IT anymore, so they all scrambled to find a teacher to be a TA for. So I actually ended up with 13 kids. So that was kind of nice for my first time, only having half a class. So I actually ran off the, made copies of the lesson plan, put it in folders for them, they put their names on it. I had them get spiral notebooks to put with their folders so that they could take notes, because I definitely had kids that went, I'm bored with the road. I'm bored with the road. Miss, I'm bored with the road. It's like, oh, well, there's your folder. So I had probably out of the 13, had about 4 of them that just through the roof. They're like, I'm done with this. I'm done with roads. I want to do this, I want to do that. And I said, okay, here it is. And at the end of the lesson plans, it gives different stuff for the kids to do. So the kids that are more advanced, it gives a lot of differentiation in there. So that lesson plan was awesome. It turned out that I ended up getting a functional academic in my class that year, that semester. And so he was slowly going into other classes. I think I was one of 3 teachers he had other than his functional academic teacher. And I have to tell you, it was amazing the things this kid did. He just loved it. He loved the art. We know they're all, some of them are just all about the art. Got to make the frog look good. Got to make the road perfect. This truck looks stupid. We need to redo it. I had a couple girls in there that were just over the top about the art, and I'm like, come on, ladies. We need to move on. He was right along with the rest of my kids. I didn't really have, other than the kids that just went through the roof with this, everybody else was pretty much on pace with each other. A lot of collaboration, tons of collaboration in that class. A lot of kids going, my truck's not moving. Can I see what yours looks like? And then they would go, oh, I forgot to put this, or I forgot to put that. I did no direct instruction for that class. None at all. I questioned them about everything. What do we need to do next? What's this supposed to look like? Yes, you can do dirt instead of grass. So they had the folders. I would have it up on the whiteboard so that they could see, you know, what our next set of goals were for most of them, other than the ones that went through the roof. But I did very little direct instruction with these guys, and I didn't have any kids that had problems. We finished Frogger, and then we went on to Sokobon. With Frogger, I was a little more, we need to use frogs, we need to use roads, we need to use, so that they didn't get so inspired about doing different characters that we lost the meaning of what we were doing. So when we did Sokobon, I was like, okay, here are the rules, this is what it's going to do, go for it. They used the wiki, they used each other. I had kids that made downloaded pictures of a tight end from the Broncos pushing a football to a goal. I had kids that downloaded SpongeBob pushing Krabby Patties to tables. I mean, it was just amazing, the stuff, because after we did Frogger, then I showed them that you could import stuff. They went wild with that. I mean, I had one kid, it was Justin Bieber running away from fans. It was, and literally the Sokobon was so much fun because I did no teaching at all. None at all. I'd walk around, I'd ask questions, they'd ask me questions, but they really, for the last few weeks of school, it was all about them. It was all about what they could do, what they learned doing Frogger, the new things they learned off the wiki, because I immediately, the very first thing we did was bookmark the wiki. And I said, everything you want to know is going to be on this wiki. And I told them up front, I don't have all the answers. I went through a training so we could get this done. I don't have all the answers, so let's look. So there were times I didn't have answers that I had one kid, and I had him last year and I had him the year before, so he knew me, and he's just one of those kids that had his own website. He had, you know, his own blog. So he was the one that was the biggest psyched out about it, that wanted to do it. And there was stuff that he found, and he's like, Miss, did you know you could do this? And you know you could do this? And I'm like, nope, I didn't. Come up and share. So if anybody found something that new that they thought was exciting, come up and share. So really a lot of, after we got down to business with Frogger and learning the different, you know, the actions and stuff like that, and understanding if-then statements, after that, they were just there. It took very, and I feel bad because I'm supposed to be teaching. It took very little on my part, especially through the Sokobon. My biggest thing was, let's stay on track. That was the only thing. Because they'd be, I got to get this perfect, or I wanted to do SpongeBob, but now I want to do this. And okay, we have to stay on track because we have to finish this before the end of school. Other than keeping them on track and making sure that we were all listening to the right music, because I always put music in my room, I did very little, other than answer a few questions, and most of that the kids did for each other. So that's it.
Thank you.
Any questions for Jennifer, or?
Yeah, any questions? No, I'm telling you, this is going to be the easiest thing. It feels overwhelming. It's going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. Especially if you follow some of the, I'm telling you, there's like 4 or 5 lesson plans.